it's a damned if I do, damned if I don't situation. If she says no, he's hurt. If she says yes, she feels resentful because she said yes to make him happy, but it's not the conditions that she would otherwise find erotically interesting. Welcome to the Get Your Marriage On podcast. I'm your host, Dan Purcell, a sex and intimacy coach for married couples. My mission is to help you build and maintain a sexually vibrant and emotionally intimate marriage. Join me each week as we explore principles and practical tools based on Christian values to create the passionate, joyful, and thriving marriage you're designed to have. Welcome back to the Get Your Marriage On podcast. This is number 2 of the 5-part series with Peggy and Steve. If you recall from last episode, this is a couple that I am coaching. Names are changed, voices are changed, but their story is real. So you're going to get a little glimpse. You get to be a fly on the wall to see what marriage coaching is really like. Now, as you listen, see if you can identify parts of their story with you and see what you can learn from it to apply to your own marriage. We're also starting our next cohorts for our men's and women's small group programs. This starts May 12th. You'll find all the details on our website. This is ideal for any individual, any man or woman listening to this podcast that would say, I am in a good marriage, but I wish things were better when it came to intimacy. That could be emotional intimacy or sexual intimacy. This program is for you. It is awesome and it's affordable, and the details are at getyourmarriageon.com. Click on events and you'll see it there under May 12th, or click on the links in the show notes. All right, I'm about to meet with Peggy and Steve for our second session. Over the last 2 weeks, I gave them an assignment to pay attention to times they are being intimate and if it's work or play to them. My hope in giving them that assignment was they will run into a time where it is definitely work, and what does that look like? And my hope is that would expose what their pattern is like that's keeping their marriage stuck at the level it is. And they were very good at doing their homework, and that pattern showed up. So that's what we get to talk about today, and we'll see how it goes. Great. Okay, it's been 2 weeks since we last met. You get A+ for homework, which is the journal entries you sent. They're so insightful. I get a window into what goes on and how you two interact, and you did really well on that assignment.
It's easy to see how messed up we are.
No. I don't view it as messed up. I hope you don't either. I know that's in jest, but I mean, welcome to the club. Welcome to the human club. I'm a human. You're a human. You'd have a lot of compassion for our humanity, right? We're all human. As you reflect over the 2 weeks, I noticed a kind of a gradual pattern. What I observed is in the beginning, the assignment again was be intimate often and keep it on the fun side the moment it feels like work, to stop or reevaluate or change direction. Seems like you did that early in the 2-week, but as towards the end, it kind of maybe felt yourself sliding into older patterns. That's what I observed, and I want to know what you thought.
That seems fair.
Yeah. Probably got tired of keeping track.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a little tedious. Tell me more about anything you learned from this experience about you two.
I think when we were trying to just not plan, it was better.
Yeah. That was good.
Like we had maybe the day plan, but not what we were going to do. Helped.
Yeah.
Why do you think that went better?
It's easy to just have fun when it's not planned. Then, we go this far and no farther sort of a thing, or we're only doing this or whatnot. Maybe
I'm not as worried about expectations.
Maybe.
Might help.
Mm-hmm. Could it be that when there is a plan, like, it's going to be sex, it invites you to slip back into your old patterns very easily?
I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't mean to put words in your mouth. I'm really curious if that's what you see too.
It's easy to fall back into habits and stuff. I mean, before we would just, plan on when we were having sex, and it was fairly routine, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we're just like, all right, Friday night or something like that. All right, well, we're planning on having fun. That's just easy to fall into, going through the same motions. It's easy to just fall into the same habit. So,
Yeah.
Great. Steve, any other insights from the last 2 weeks that you want to talk about? And now give Peggy a chance to before we dive deeper in on some ideas that are for you today.
I'd say that for me, give me an inch, I'll take a mile if I can. If we're just like, hey, let's have fun together, I'm just like, how far can we go? And I can definitely understand how that can naturally put pressure on Peggy. Trying to find ways of not inadvertently or advertently putting pressure on.
Okay. Great. How about you, Peggy?
I think I guess I worry a lot about what I feel I'm expected to do, whether it's just I'm interpreting things and coming up with it, or he's actually doing it. So,
can you think of a specific example of something in the last 2 weeks where it's like your mind is working overtime trying to figure out Steve's mind of what he's expecting, and then you're trying to like do telemetry, like figure out like where we need to be to like make it work, or if you can go there or not. That's what I think of when you said what you said.
Yeah, just am I going to be comfortable with everything that Steve would want to do? But he's been a lot better about being okay with the level I'm comfortable with. So I think some of it's residual beginning of marriage, or like how we talked about, like, okay, I'm just going to assume we won't have sex, but if it happens, all right, great. But just felt like, okay, each time we have fun, it should turn into sex. So
That's not necessarily a bad thing, Peggy.
no,
Like-
but it helps me have more fun when it feels like it doesn't have to. Like I'm open for it happening, but to feel like each and every time it does have to, kind of takes the fun and puts on expectations for me, at least.
Gotcha. I think you're hitting on something, and both of you are talking about it a little bit, but it's this idea of pressure. And pressure is like an interesting concept in a marriage because pressure exists in any marriage. It does. Because you've married a very different person than you, and your spouse has a different level of sexual desire and drive, different preferences on bedroom activities, different ideas on what fun is. So pressure just exists. That tension just exists. But how you, in the presence of that pressure or tension, how you interact with each other in it, that's where I think, of telling of a marriage. Peggy, how do you deal with the pressure in your marriage?
Usually I kind of pull in on myself, but I'm working on not letting that be my natural inclination and just kind of being like, I don't have to do that.
Did you say pull in to yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that look like in practice?
Probably don't talk a lot when I'm pulling in and just kind of do what's necessary, at least in sex, probably. Not as free with my emotions.
Gotcha. Is it like just let's rush through it to get it over and done with to move on?
Yeah, does that make
Or
sense?
like withdrawing emotionally a little bit?
Probably both.
Okay. Steve, when you see your wife pull into herself, what does that look like from your perspective?
I can generally read her and realize that she's kind of closing off. I can see that something's probably hurt her emotionally, stressed, or something like that. At least, we're talking sex and stuff during those times and everything. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten to the habit of, well, I usually check in and kind of not interrogate, but maybe press the issue more than just are you okay? And yeah, I'm fine. Okay, but are you sure you're okay? But so I do that, but I try to balance it out with needing time to decompress. Not doing it right now. I like talking things through, and Peggy likes to have a little bit of time to cool off, have a real level head when you think about it. Both valid points, but sometimes it's a little challenging.
Mm-hmm. All right. We talked about Peggy's favorite strategies on how she deals with pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Steve. What are your favorite strategies? Favorite meaning
Usually,
habitual things when you run into the pressure of marriage. And pressure for you may not be like pressure to have sex from Peggy. That's not what I'm talking about.
yeah.
But it's the pressure you feel because sex isn't happening like you want it to. Or
Not
that
really.
tension. You're experiencing that tension.
Tension of the stress of not having sex.
Yeah.
Or wanting and not getting it.
That's an example, but yeah.
I mean, if you're just talking stress in general, I'm usually a jerk. Working on it. But I mean, internally, kind of climbing the walls and usually putting all the blame on myself. Kind of stuck in neutral with the revving engine sort of a thing.
Tell me more about that stuck in neutral with the revving engine. That's a good metaphor. Help me understand more what that feels like. Like, what's going on?
Really want to have sex and can't have it. So you just kind of think it, you want it, but can't do anything about it.
Is it like a almost physical? Like you can almost feel it?
Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Gotcha. So when you're stuck in neutral with the engine revving, I like that metaphor. What's your go-to strategy to try to resolve that?
Not sure I really have one. Just kind of deal with it, flirt more probably, which I guess might be just try to in a not really pressuring way, but try to be like sex. But I try really hard not to pressure Peggy into sex. We've dealt with and had our fill of obligatory sex. We're not interested in that anymore. So I definitely try not to do too much of that. But I'll probably flirt more, and otherwise I probably get maybe a little more short-tempered with the kids or something, or just grit my teeth a bit more often because internally climbing the walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not too bad. I mean, we generally have sex once or twice a week, so I don't think it gets me too bad. I mean, if it's a few days later because of circumstances or whatever, kind of like, hi. But, yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say one short statement. I think too many men are kind of get this idea that it's something's wrong with them or it's a liability that they have a high sex drive. And I don't view it that way. I think it's a blessing to have a high sex drive like that. That's part of how men are built, or how you're built at least. And so because it's there isn't a bad thing. So anyway,
Sometimes it's hard to believe that, but
it's hard, and we're going to dissect this a little bit more in just a second. But before I move on, I want Peggy to help at just color in maybe some of the edges here. How do you see Steve deal with that pressure
well,
from your perspective?
He's a jerk. I mean,
He told you like he feels like he's climbing inside, a little bit of white knuckling sometimes. That's my word, not yours. I'm assuming that's a good description.
sure.
Or he gets really flirty, or he gets short-tempered with the kids. That's what he said.
mhm.
What
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely feel if I end up flirting with him back, it's like, okay, not that fast. I know sometimes, yeah, you can get frustrated, but in general, you've gotten a lot better about letting that get out as much. So that's nice. I think he mostly described what I see.
Okay. So there's a particular journal entry from last week, Sunday. Can you go back in time with me?
Just remind us which one.
What I remember, you tell me, you can help me, is Steve felt a lot of stress, and Peggy said, well, what can I do to help you? And the thing that came to mind for Steve is sex. If she'll just have sex with me, I'll feel so much better right now. And like, Steve didn't want to answer right away because he knew if he asked for sex, Peggy wasn't going to want it. And that wasn't a route he wanted to take. But he didn't have a good answer at the time. And he could just feel something was off in the relationship. And later it was revealed that of all the things, why can't she just, like want me right now? And the conversation was like, how come you just can't change our mood and just like, and want
Yeah.
me and help me? Because that will reduce my stress more than anything else. Do you remember that scenario?
Yeah. I mean, I might have forgotten a few details, but yeah, it's ringing a bell.
Yeah.
Great. Any details I have wrong or anything that's coming to mind?
I think so.
No,
I think you summed it up well.
I just want to tell you what I see in it.
Okay.
Sure.
The energy, like I asked myself this question, and I know it's a weird question, but if I was married to Steve, what would my experience of Steve be like in that moment?
Mm-hmm.
And I would see him as being needy. And that needy energy coming from him is not sexy. Like I would have a really hard time being turned on if my wife is coming to me with a very needy sexual energy. It doesn't invite me to want to play. It's like I would feel used as a result. And that'd be really difficult for me to want to engage in fully for that. And so far, what do you see in that? Is that accurate?
Yeah, it definitely feels. Yeah, in that way, it feels more of I'm using you for something versus this is for us.
Mm-hmm. And if I was married to Peggy,
And I saw her first.
if I was married to a person like Peggy, I should say, in that situation, I would have a difficult time really being honest with her because no matter what I say or don't say, it'll kind of make the situation a little worse. So it's hard for me to like really own what I want. Another thing that I see is if I was married to a person like Peggy, I would see Peggy wanting to make things right, maybe not at the moment, but later on. So like an offering is made to try to make herself feel good, but it's never going to be a full-hearted offering. It's like a half-hearted offering. I hope you feel better, but I really don't want to step in fully right now, kind of a thing. That's what I see in that.
Is it like sex or just anything else? Just unclear.
We're focusing on the sexual relationship primarily, and the reason why is I believe sex is a microcosm of the whole relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So how you do sex is how you do life. How you do life is how you do sex. So I'm just highlighting that.
Yeah.
But correct me if you see that differently. I want to make sure I have a good model in my head.
No, I can see that. You? It's okay. Well, figuring things out.
Yeah, seems fair.
And the reason why I think that coming from Peggy is it's like the offer later in the day. Well, we can kiss, and it's like a perfunctory makeout session, or we can cuddle naked, and it's kind of nice, but it's not the real thing that you want. So it's kind of like if I was married to someone like a Peggy, you'd be like, well, here's something, but I'm holding back a part. I'm not going to give you all of me in that. I want to hide part of it in it.
I can see that. I wasn't ready to have sex with everything that had happened, and I'm not always comfortable. Like, I wouldn't normally just cuddle naked, but I wanted to try something that is not something I would normally do if I wasn't ready for sex, to give him something that I wouldn't have normally tried. So it was an offering in a way of something that I could give him.
Great with.
That's awesome that you're willing to step outside of something. And I think any good marriage has sacrifice. To make any marriage work, there's definitely noble and good sacrifice in it. I just wonder if there's any part in that offering that feels a little, the word that comes to mind is perfunctory. That's like checking the box.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Or it's managing, like it's always in reference to how you want the spouse to feel as a result, rather than you stepping in and how you want to be experienced.
Yeah, it was definitely for him versus us.
And as good as that is, Steve, can you talk about how it feels to be offered something in that spirit for you?
It's okay.
It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell when she holds back. So, yeah, it isn't my favorite.
So I think this is your cycle that's
Mhm.
in both of you stuck in the place you are.
Mhm.
In a way, Steve is looking to Peggy as his only sexual outlet, legitimate sexual outlet. It's like he's climbing up the walls and she's unavailable. And it's like, can't get what he wants.
Mhm.
And for Peggy, it's a damned if I do, damned if I don't situation. If she says no, he's hurt. If she says yes, she feels resentful because she said yes to make him happy, but it's not the conditions that she would otherwise find erotically interesting in that. So you're both kind of like stuck in that pattern. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So I think if that's true and if that's correct, the solution then is to identify that pattern. And I want to help you see what your choices are in it,
Mhm.
better way out of it. And if you practice that, you'll have passed this level. You'll defeated the boss at this level. You'll move on to your next set of problems as you grow
Great.
up. That's life, right? There's always a next level, I believe. But
Yeah.
you're going to feel so much more peace. You're going to feel so much more calm, so much more freedom. And I think sex will become a lot more just natural, like a natural outgrowth of your relationship rather than something you kind of have to keep dancing around.
That'd be nice.
Sounds good.
Right, good. Okay, I'm going to focus on you first, Steve, and then we'll go to Peggy. Steve, if you can, in your mind's eye, go back to last Sunday in that situation. You're really stressed and your engine is revving in neutral. Your go-to strategy, like you want sex. Sex would help a lot. And sex is a fantastic stress reliever. So there's nothing wrong with that. I want to make sure you understand there's nothing wrong, there's nothing right. It's very neutral. It's not we're not putting a judgment on the desire for sex. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
I guess so. I mean, your earlier statement made it sound like by doing that I'm being needy. So,
So it's how you react to that feeling comes off as neediness.
okay.
Does that make sense?
I'm sure when you elaborate how I could do it different, I'll probably see the difference, but like, what am I supposed to do different?
Okay. Well, put yourself in Peggy's shoes for a moment. What would it be like from her perspective if you came to her with the energy that you're coming with in those moments?
I mean, we talked about it if she came to me with that need or whatever. Um, Usually when Peggy has a hard time, I will be very glad to have some way of fixing it. Um, so okay, kids, pretend mom's not here, come to me. Here, honey, I'll finish dinner, you go and chill or whatever, do whatever I can. So if I had something like that, that would be something to be like, oh, I got a magic bullet. We got this. I can make your life better. I'd be like, hey, yeah, let's do this in my perspective. But maybe that's because I really like sex. So to me, it never really seemed like, why is this a bad thing? I'd have just been grateful I could actually do something because I usually feel kind of powerless to make things better for her. I mean, she brought up correctly so that, I'm not responsible for her emotions and it's not my job to fix it. So I get that. Um, but I can definitely wrap my head around the whole it comes off as needy. Um, but I just don't know what to do different.
I think it's only needy because you bypass Peggy as a person to get what you want. In that moment, it's easy to not see Peggy as a person, but more as what she can do for you, what she can provide for you.
Okay.
You seem confused. I don't know if I'm landing this.
I would just kind of need to think for a while to see if that seems accurate to me for how I look at her, but I can understand the concept.
Okay, let's see why. Maybe I'm off on this. I want to make sure I have the right model. Because the model in my mind is I want to have sex. You're my only legitimate outlet. I'm really stressed. Sex would help me. And I feel powerless because I can't really come to you about this. And even if I brought it up, all I would get from you is like perfunctory, like you do it out of like just to make me feel good, but passion won't be there. And then I'd feel kind of worse after. So I feel really stuck in that.
Yeah.
But I still want it. So even if she gives me an inch of affection or flirtation, I want to see how far I can take that because I want to get my I hate using the word get my need met, but that's kind of the
I'll follow.
yeah. So far so good.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you see how in that it's you look to Peggy as what she does for you rather than Peggy as a person with her own feelings and desires separate from you?
I mean, I didn't make a conscious decision to do that, but I guess I could kind of see that.
It looks like I'm not really connecting on this one. Peggy, am I off on this too? What's your perspective in this?
I mean, that's what it feels like. And I don't think you're doing anything on purpose, but yeah, it feels, I can see it feeling like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do this too in my marriage. And I'm not proud of this. Isn't when I'm at my worst moments, I look to my wife as what she does for me or how she makes me look good or her value is what she provides and what she does to reinforce me. And it's not good for a marriage because it's very like egocentric in how I approach my life. Even if it's the most selfless looking act, it's egocentric in the end because I'm doing it, I'm giving to get, or there's something in it. There's some sort of a self focus in it. And I no longer see her as a person. I see it as like what she provides me in that.
Okay.
Does
So what am I supposed to respond?
that sound right? Basically.
I guess.
Help me see what's going on in you right now, Steve. I kind of feel like I've lost a connection with you just now. Like we could take a little time out and like step back. Like
I don't know. I'd say when I'm, going back to Sunday and stuff, or when I'm super stressed and engines revving and whatnot, I'm craving Peggy. Sex is lovely. Want that.
yeah.
But she's had times where she's offered me what has felt like duty sex. And I've said, no, I'm not going to have that. I just want her. Not held back or anything, just her. Yes, I'd like it with sex. I don't know, just the way I've thought about it and stuff, but I guess I never really saw it as just, what can she do for me? I mean, I guess when you're having a hard time, you just look, I need help. If Peggy had way too many things to do and she needs help, she's just going to look to see what I can do for her. Can you take the kids or plan dinner or figure out or what, somehow offload the plate, her mental plate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider myself objectified if I did that or if she did that and I needed that.
She would be objectifying you if there's like an expectation that's your job. You're her assistant. That you're
I'm her husband.
Like
Like
bypassing your agenda and like all of a sudden her needs become more important than yours. Like that's not the kind of person Peggy is, but if it were that way, you would feel that way towards her too. I would think.
I guess so. I mean, I see the point you're making. I mean, we're a team. If she has a hard time and I have capacity, whatever she needs, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And yes, I was looking for a connection with sex through sex, but I was looking for her, not just objectifying it. If I didn't care about
Mhm.
objectifying her, I'd have just taken whatever duty sex I can get. But I don't take duty sex. I think I'm allergic these days. So I totally get your point, and I can totally believe that I am doing that.
But why the spinning on Sunday then? It doesn't make sense to me.
What's spinning on Sunday?
Sunday, the spinning, I'm stressed. What would really help me is sex. Yet that you have a hard time moving, like owning all of that, like owning that position and really going in on that.
Because I know she doesn't like it. Not if well, at least in the past, when I've come to her like that, that's, I can tell the instant reluctance or the pullback or whatever you want to call it.
Why doesn't she like it? Why do you know she doesn't like it?
Like, how am I reading her? Or
I don't know.
well, at the beginning of this, we said, I can kind of read when she's, pulling in, pulling back, and
Mhm.
and I can see that, read that when that happens. I think that is the feeling you're giving. Yeah.
Why the pullback when you come to her when you're stressed and you want sex to help relieve your stress?
For me?
I'm
Okay.
asking Steve. I want to know
Okay.
if Steve understands it. Yeah. And Peggy, but you can jump in and like help him out if he's struggling here.
I mean, I understood what she said, that she felt pressured. She felt like she has to do something, perform, whatnot. And I do see her point. I don't, invalidate that or anything like that. But when I see it as connection, I'm like, why has everyone got a problem with that? But
It's
I can definitely.
Steve, where in it is connecting?
Oh, again?
How is it connecting to look to Peggy to reduce your stress through sex?
How does that connect? I mean, they call it making love. I mean, it's kind of if done right, I guess, the best expression of love.
Let's see. I guess I'm not being really clear.
So I'm not trying to be difficult.
Oh, no, I'm not either. I'm trying to help. Let's see. When I'm stressed and I want sex and I go to my wife, I need sex to relieve my stress. Will you give it to me? I don't think she's going to have a connecting experience with me.
Okay, I get that.
I don't think my wife would, because the meaning of that type of sexual interaction for her wouldn't be about love or making love. It'd be about servicing her husband.
Okay.
Not all sexual experiences are connecting.
Yeah, no.
It's possible for two people, even if they're married and they're legal, have very lonely sexual experiences. You have sex and afterwards you feel physically, it might feel good to have an orgasm, but still, like, emotionally, like, I didn't feel wanted. I didn't feel your soul. I didn't feel close. I don't feel changed.
Sure.
And on the other hand, other experiences are. I'm not trying to argue with you.
Well,
And correct me if I'm wrong. I just see that the energy at which sex is approached, like on that Sunday, for example,
sure.
like, I do errands for you. Like, if you tell me to run to the grocery store to get milk at midnight, I will do that for you. Why can't you just have sex with me when I need something? Like, the thing that's getting missed in that kind of a comparison, I think, is running an errand or taking the kids or those things is a very different experience for the two of you and for your wife than sexual intimacy. But if you want to reduce sexual intimacy to something checking off a box or like a favor, then you'll stay in the kind of sex that you're having now long term. You'll reinforce it. It stays at this low level of intimacy where Peggy really can't fully show up herself. And you're also not really willing to know Peggy in the sexual experience in that moment too.
Okay.
So want to talk about what ideas come to mind instead then?
I was hoping you could tell me.
I have lots of
It's not a
ideas.
problem. I don't know. I mean, you made it sound earlier like it's fine to do this, but then it's also not fine. So, beats me, boss. What am I supposed to do?
I gotcha. Wanting sex with her wife is always a good thing, I think. Almost like, right? I guess the motives matter, but I want it to be a good experience.
Me too.
Especially, yeah, for us. So when I look to someone else to solve a problem within me, that's really not their task to do. I need to solve it within me. Like I look to someone else to fill a hole within me. You will always be needy because you need someone to. It's like that. Is it I haven't seen the movie, but the Jerry Maguire movie, the famous line is, "You complete me," as if that's the most romantic thing you could say to someone else.
I haven't seen it, but I know the line.
Yeah, you complete me.
Yeah.
Real intimacy can't exist if you depend on someone else to always complete you. It kind of goes against the model, the fairy tale model. Okay, I'm getting philosophical here, but let's get practical. So hypothetically, if Peggy was out of town and you're in a similar situation, are there any strategies you would do to reduce your stress in that moment?
I would just
Grit your teeth and manage
grit your
it.
teeth and manage. I mean, that's what most of life is.
Like that. Life is tough sometimes. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's really hard sometimes. And I'm saying this is always easy.
If you got a different way I can relieve stress,
Hobbies.
yeah, easier said than done.
Go for a walk.
Okay.
Take the kids on a bike ride with you if the weather's fine. Like that's like an idea.
We're in a state where it rains constantly.
Yeah, or bring an umbrella then. For some people, music helps. Journaling helps. Like calling up a buddy and talking to a friend they haven't talked to in a while, or whatever, or someone close to you.
You're sick. Right. Yes. I get
You have friends you can call.
Not people I could talk to like that.
Maybe you need to work on that.
Yeah.
Friends are good.
Especially men in our demographic between 35 to 45, white Caucasian males and middle class is the highest suicide demographic in the United States, or so I've been told. I actually need to fact check that. But it makes sense to me because we go to work, we come home, we don't really associate deeply with other people, outside our own individual family, yet we feel guilty doing something outside the home because shouldn't we be at home with the kids and helping our wives? And so we experience a lot of emotional cutoff. And a lot of times our coworkers in that work setting isn't the right setting to have deep emotional friendships. So it makes sense. A lot of men feel isolated. Men need men.
I guess, but I keep my stuff to myself. So I'm not about to start talking to other people, you are obvious only exception, about our intimate life. I'm not going to go complaining about Peggy or complaining about kids. I think everyone can be on the same page with that one if I talk to other people. But I'm not going to go bring that marriage stuff to somebody else that Peggy doesn't.
I don't want you to be indulgent. To be indulgent is, do you know what I mean by that? That feeling of being indulgent.
Yeah. I don't know if it's healthy, if I consider my level of indulgent to be healthy, but now Peggy also thinks it's, no, it's fine to actually want to have a few minutes to be by yourself or something, even when I feel like it's being indulgent or something. So kind of depends on what your level is.
Yeah, I think for me, it comes if it's in the best of me or the worst of me. Like I remember once complaining to a friend about something in my marriage, and I wasn't going into any details. I was honoring my wife's privacy. I was just really focusing on my experience in it all. And after a while, my friend looks at me and is like, Dan, knock it off. You're being indulgent. And my friend was right. I hated hearing it.
Right.
But it's the energy of like, oh, woe is me. I can't get it right. Why won't she just do this? And then this doesn't work. And then that's like, it's like, you're being indulgent right now. So that kind of spirit wasn't helpful. But I'm grateful for a friend that I could talk to that would call me out on my on my shortcoming when I needed it and speak to me straight. That's a gift. Your spouse can be that for you too. Some couples I know introduce masturbation as a solution in their marriage at times. Like that could be a potential outlet. One couple I talked to, they're like, it was absolutely no in their marriage for a while, for a long time. And then they had a conversation about it. And as a result, they're like, okay, we'll try that as a strategy. And for her, it was like, oh, thank goodness, what a stress relief. I am freed from being your stress ball. When you need it, I don't have to be always available and on at that moment. And you can go take care of yourself. And he comes back like so much more calm. He's not an ogre anymore. And anyway, that was this couple's experience. Now, your mileage might vary, and there's a lot of beliefs to put in to align with that too. But I'm giving you ideas here, something for you to seriously talk about because, and it's never done out of indulgence either. It's done as a strategy to help now or help in this moment so that I don't use my wife. So that when we do come together, it's about us. It's not about relieving my stress per se.
No thanks.
You said no thanks.
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's fine. I think your assignment for you two, especially for you, Steve, is in order to break that pattern on your side of that needy energy or that it's finally Friday. Yes, let's go. Like that kind of energy. You need to see how that's interfering with what you really want, which is the sexual experiences where they are very connecting and very fulfilling. One where it's very easy for Peggy to step in fully in it too. And I think it begins by learning to really see Peggy as Peggy and not as what she provides.
So to make sure I understood you, you said my assignment is to figure out how to de-stress so I don't come all needy to Peggy and to try to see her as less of what she can do for me and more as her. Did I miss that?
Yes, you're correct. And now that you repeated it back to me, I don't like what I said. So I'm going to amend it.
Yeah. I can easily forget things. Just ask Peggy.
You're doing great. You're doing great. The part that I didn't like in what I said was as a stress reduction strategy, you need to find other ways to reduce stress. And I think that's true, but I only think that's part of the equation. But let's run with that for now, and I think I'll get more clarity in a moment.
Okay.
That sounds all right. Peggy, we didn't get as much time with you. We're kind of out of time, but real quick, what are some of your takeaways from our time together today?
I'm just trying to think of ways I can approach it differently too. And I'm just trying to contemplate on ways I can do that. I haven't solidified everything yet, but that's kind of what I'm taking away is trying to approach and see things differently as well.
Like what's coming to mind?
I don't know if I can see he's stressed, maybe try and find ways to maybe make things fun and more flirty before it gets to a head and see if we can change the atmosphere of how we approach it to begin with instead of wait till it gets to I'm stressed. Oh no, for me, and maybe try and head things off and to where we can both have fun.
I like that you're thinking ahead, like, what can I do to be more flirty in my marriage? But as long as you keep it in the frame of, I need to do this to manage my husband's emotions, you will always feel beholden to him. Like you always feel powerless.
Yeah.
And then you'll resent him.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of flirting, but I don't like the idea of flirting to manage my husband's emotions. There was someone else I coached, and she's like, we have sex for his mental health. And he's like, yes, I need it for my mental health. When I don't get it, I get depressed. There's no passion in that. Like, how fun would that be? Not fun at all. Like, right? It's like the frame, which is completely is not a great frame. But I think that's an easy frame for you to go into, Peggy. Do you see
Yeah.
that? Can you see what a different frame would be for you that would be more real, more honest, more truthful?
I don't think that comes to me right now is maybe saying, how can we convince each other in a non-pressured, like convince me in a playful way of how can we have fun? So it's more of a mutual convincing in a positive way.
Convince me only works when you're neutral, though.
Yeah.
If it's like, if there's that needy energy, that convince me isn't neutral.
Yeah. So I guess I'm not really sure. But I think it might just be a trial and error process. Big, is this working? No. Okay, let's try something else. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but it's kind of a figure as I go type of thing.
Well, yeah, there's going to be a lot of trial and error, and it's okay if things are messy. But the way I see it, Peggy, is, let's see, like with the kids, let's pretend you don't have a policy of ice cream right before bedtime. And that's what you say to them. We're not going to have ice cream before bedtime. But then they see you eating ice cream. Or like once in a while, you let them have ice cream, and then other times, like not. You're inconsistent. They're going to pay more attention to what you do than what you say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And you kind of lower your standard when you eat the ice cream or allow them to eat ice cream when you said we're not going to. They see mom as like reducing her standards. So when you give in to that needy energy, it's like reducing your standards in your marriage for that.
Yeah. So what would you suggest I work on?
I suggest you work on bringing your best to your marriage, as always. And if that means flirting more from the best in you, go more of that. If it means, like, you've pushed yourself in the last 2 weeks, right? Cuddling naked, some other things that you've done together that you've told me about. Like, you're really pushing yourself on some of these things. If that's coming from the best in you, that will always be good for your marriage. Because that's like you saying, my old self isn't helping. Like, that model isn't working for me. I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to push myself for my growth. It's uncomfortable, but I'm going to push myself.
Yeah.
At the same time, you need to stop giving in to that needy energy and stop giving half-hearted attempts to kind of manage your husband's emotions.
Okay.
And managing is condescending to your husband and offering that duty sex as a token, hope you feel better, is condescending. It's like, I'm not going to give you my best self, but here, have some scraps. And he's wise not to take scraps, but you need to stop giving into that.
Okay.
And when he's stressed, you can help, you can listen, you can suggest, you can care about him. But no matter what you do, you actually can't solve it for him. He's the only one that can solve it for him. So keep that in mind also. Because I think stepping into like trying to solve his problem for him keeps you stuck in the patterns that you're in now.
Yeah.
All right. Any last things you want to say, Steve, before we end? What you see on Peggy's side?
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense for her side and everything.
Looks like you're really disconnected from you in this session today.
Sorry.
Not to practice.
More.
No. I wonder where I went off on it. Where I've been off, maybe.
Or are you just pulling back because it's a lot?
I know coaching is an uncomfortable experience, period. It's supposed to be.
You succeed.
But there's something about like pushing someone because it's true. It's rooted in truth. Hey, knock it off. Like, do this instead. there's also the kind where I am off, and therefore you disconnect with the coach because you feel like, yeah, he doesn't get me at all.
So is that hard or is he off? I think he's asking.
So if I'm wrong, I want to know so I can help you better.
I'm willing to believe that you're correct.
It's just hard.
Well, it's definitely hard, but
Mhm.
I'm willing to at least go with that you're correct.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm in this mess, well, at least in half because of me. So it makes sense that whatever I'm doing, I'm doing it right now. So I don't have any better ideas, and I can see your point. So we'll go with it's hard, and you're right, and I get to figure out how to deal with stress in a different way.
Okay. Homework this week,
Yeah.
for the next few weeks. You were really good about the journal entries, but this time, just journal occasions where you catch yourself. Like Peggy, this is when you're trying to solve and manage your husband's emotions.
Okay.
And Steve, you're like, hey, Peggy, you're trying to manage my emotions, right?
So
Like,
journal that.
Okay.
yeah, I want you to catch that. Yeah. I see that. And Steve, likewise, when you're trying to manage Peggy's emotions too, the way you do it is a little bit different than Peggy does it. You do it by the way I see it, and I could be wrong, is you really go inside. It's like I want sex, but I can't ask for it. And so I struggle with it inside. It's that looks like
Wait, you said I can't manage her emotions. You're talking when she's stressed.
it's not
Don't help her.
no, no, no,
Because
no, no.
that's not
If
good for
it's
me.
from the best in you, you always help. This is
Yeah.
sacrifice. This is good. This is the good thing.
Okay.
It's please don't misunderstand that point. It's it's the worst in you when it turns into an indulgent and you look to Peggy to solve something within you.
But we're talking me stressed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I heard if she was stressed, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm going to help her. So yes, if I'm stressed, I'm going to.
That's your pattern. Yeah, you're going to look for that pattern and you're going to have plenty of opportunity over the next few weeks because it's going to come up many times. I know it.
Oh, we can.
And this is just practice. It's like you don't beat yourself up over it. It's just, oh, there it is again. I see it. Name your pattern if you want to. Oh, we're doing the Charleston shuffle again, whatever you want to call it. I see that. But the heart of it is you look to your spouse to define you instead of you learning how to define yourself better. And I know
Okay.
that's a little abstract, but I can explain that more over email.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Got it. Thank you. All right. What I tried to do is help Steve and Peggy see what their pattern is. And I think I got clear on what it is. I'd like to say I nailed the pattern, but it's a very common pattern. And the heart of it is you look to someone else to solve something in you. And every time you do that, and we're all human, we all do it to one degree or another. But especially when it comes to sex, Steve looking to Peggy to solve something with him. Why can't you just give me sex? And he's deceiving himself in thinking it'll be a connecting experience when he knows it's not going to be connecting. Peggy knows it's not going to be connecting, so she resists. And that resistance, really adds to the stress and the difficulty that Steve experiences. And what makes it difficult for Steve is he feels like, I have no options here. I feel really powerless here. And Peggy feels the same way, but in a different direction. She feels powerless. If I say yes, I resent him. If I say no, he's more upset. So these are two people both feeling really powerless, and they're kind of in this gridlock struggle. The way out of it, what I'm trying to really help them see is, yes, some stress management strategies are going to help. Yes, having friends are going to help. But what's really about it is it's Steve being more honest. Like, Peggy, I'm stressed and I just want to have sex with you because I keep telling myself that's going to reduce my stress. It's going to really help. And I keep telling myself, like, if we were to have sex and you were so enthusiastic about it, like, it would put me over the moon. But I deceive myself in thinking that. Like, if he could just be clear and honest and own how he's feeling and how, like, I use you for that, and I don't want to be a user. That would that's at least more honest and more clear. That would unhook him from looking to Peggy to solve his problem all the time. Or for Peggy to just be honest too, like, Steve, you have a lot of needy energy, and even if I said yes, I would resent you, and I hate resenting my husband. I'm not going to do that. I love you too much. So let's work out a way. Let's solve the immediate problem with stress. That's going to help too. And with kids and everything like that, maybe there's something we can do. And even if not, I care enough about our marriage that I'm willing to push here, but I'm not going to be used because that makes me feel resentful. That's just an example, right? Do you see how the difference is? They're bringing a lot more honesty to the table, and they're no longer using each other to prop themselves up. For Peggy, it's no longer defining her sense of herself sexually in this dynamic by the way Steve is or isn't behaving at the moment. That's Peggy's point of view. And so that's the work I hope this couple does, and how to like explain that and translate that down to real life, into the everyday moments. So my assignment is I just really want them to see this dynamic alive in their relationship, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Then you have choices. What am I going to do differently? That's what I hope happens. So we'll see how it goes over the next few weeks, and then we'll reconvene and see where we go next with this couple.